Welcome to the second Students Forum Global Symposium hosted by the UC Davis Students Forum and Global Affairs. Anka, Anahi, Katharina, Akshaya, Andressa, and I are very delighted to meet all of you and see the fruition of a symposium filled with fantastic presentations and workshops. We are excited that our presenters range from the second year undergraduate students through PhD students. We know that they all have interesting things to share, regardless of where they are in their educational journey. We also want to thank our sponsors, the UC Davis Global Affairs Sustainable Development Goals Grant Program, the UC Davis Students Forum, and the UC Davis Global Fellow Program. Thank you all for attending our second annual Global Students Forum Symposium. This project has already taken a proportion that we did not foresee in its beginning, and we hope to continue growing this incredibly powerful network of student protagonists working toward the goals of agroecology, community, and ethical use of the land and the environments where we are. We are truly inspired and guided by the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goal, and we are, if you're not familiar with them, we hope you take some time to learn more about them, and we will include a link in the chat for you to check it out. So our theme for this year is connecting to the land through science, music, food, culture, and indigenous knowledge. This theme demonstrates that values surrounding agroecology and commitment to the land concerns all of us. And in this spirit, we hope we will all have a great time today. Now, without further ado, I will pass it to Akshaya to acknowledge the land which we are gathered.
Thank you, Nadia. Hi, everyone. Before we proceed, following UC Davis's tradition, we'd like to acknowledge the land in which we will meet today. We will make recognition of the lands where UC Davis was built, but we invite you to think about the land in which you stand wherever you are now, and invite you to recognize your own local, past, and present ancestors. We want to take a moment to acknowledge the land on which we are gathered. For thousands of years, this land has been the home of Patwin people. Today, there are 3 federally recognized Patwin tribes: Kachil-Dihi Band of Wintun Indians of the Calusa Indian Community, Quetzal-Dihi Wintun Nation, and Yocha-Dihi Wintun Nation. The Patwin people have remained committed to the stewardship of this land over many centuries, has been cherished and protected as elders have instructed the young through generations. We are honored and grateful to be here today on their traditional lands. We will start our 4-hour program by welcoming our keynote speakers. Then we'll have our first 5-minute presentation session and a small break, followed by another breakout session for workshops. Then a fun networking session, another break, and then our second 5-minute presentation session. I'll now pass it on to Andressa to introduce Chancellor May.
Thank you, Anka. Without further ado, we are honored to introduce Chancellor May. Chancellor Gary S. May is a highly engaged leader with a passion for helping others to succeed. He believes success is best judged by how we enhance the lives of others. Throughout his career, he's championed diversity, equity, and inclusion in both higher education and the workplace. He developed nationally recognized programs that attract, mentor, and retain underrepresented groups in the STEM fields of science, technology, engineering, and math. In 2015, President Obama honored him with the Presidential Award for Excellence in STEM Mentoring. May earned his master's and PhD degrees in electrical engineering and computer science at UC Berkeley. He was inducted to the National Academy of Engineering in 2018. And in 2020, May was elected the American Academy of Arts and Sciences under the classification of educational and academic leadership. In 2021, May was awarded a Lifetime Mentor Award from the American Association for the Advancement of Science and an honorary doctorate from Georgia Institute of Technology. A prominent voice in higher education, May is a commissioner of the Council on Competitiveness and other national committees. His vision as UC Davis's 7th Chancellor is to lead the university to new heights in academic excellence, inclusion, public service, and upward mobility for students from all backgrounds. Welcome, Chancellor May.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. It's really my pleasure to be here to help kick off the 2nd annual Student Global Farming Symposium. Before I begin, I just want to take a moment to expand on the land acknowledgement, recognizing the Patwin people as the original stewards of this land. For thousands of years, indigenous people in California and around the world practice sustainable agriculture, and many continue to do so today. Indigenous knowledge is rooted in land stewardship. In that respect, I was happy to see our keynote speaker, Lillian Huana Hall, is a member of the Ion band of Miwok Indians tribe in California and also attends Northwest Indian College in Washington. Today's symposium is a great opportunity to connect with your peers and learn best practices in student farming. This event provides a space for students from around the world. It aims to inspire and to empower you to think about how you can serve your communities back home. That's to say, how you can think globally and act locally. The Student Global Farming Symposium was actually the brainchild of 2 students here today who were part of our UC Davis Global Education for All program. 3 years ago, Nadia and Andressa had an idea to bring students together from around the world to share knowledge and build a global community of student leaders passionate about student farms and sustainable agriculture. Now, here we are at the 2nd annual symposium with speakers from 9 different countries. Students also started the UC Davis Student Farm in the late 1970s as a place to explore ideas for sustainable agriculture. Nearly 50 years later, the Student Farm continues to provide a space where students can learn, practice, and model an ecologically, socially, and economically sustainable agriculture and food system. The UC Davis Student Farm is housed under the College of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, but students from all disciplines come together at our student farm. Student-run university farms are increasingly found on university campuses across the United States and around the world. So never underestimate your power and your ability to make a difference in your community and in the world. Students are not only our future leaders, but you're key to helping address the world's most complex challenges today. We need your ideas, we need your passion. More than ever, it's important to come together and share knowledge and different perspectives. Many of the greatest challenges we face today are global in nature. Food production and natural resource depletion, the environment and climate change, healthcare and the threat of pandemics. As a land-grant university, UC Davis has a duty to serve the greater public good. We have partnerships and research projects all over the globe. For example, UC Davis is a leading global research program that aims to lift and keep rural families out of poverty in developing countries. This USAID-funded project is called the Feed the Future Innovation Lab for Markets, Risk, and Resilience. The program is studying the root causes of poverty and food insecurity with an emphasis on risk from disasters like drought, flood, or conflict. And it's yielding innovations to protect small farms from drought in Mozambique and Tanzania. UC Davis is a global leader in agriculture and also in sustainability and climate change research. And these are inextricably linked. That's one reason our commitment to United Nations Sustainable Development Goals is so important. UC Davis faculty, students, and staff are actively engaged in addressing all 17 UN goals across more than 80 countries. These goals are crucial if we want to promote human rights, inclusive development, and good governance. If we want to end poverty, hunger, and disease. If we want to combat the devastating impact of climate change. To meet the challenge of the UN Sustainable Development Goals by 2030, we'll need to focus on all of these areas and more. The SDGs are vital because they connect social sustainability and environmental sustainability. UC Davis is the only UC and one of just a handful of universities in the world to conduct a voluntary university review of our research, teaching, service, and operational efforts to advance the SDGs at UC Davis and through our global collaborations. This will help us better understand our campus strengths, challenges, and progress within the globally recognized framework of the UN SDGs. The UN Sustainable Development Goals require us to collaborate across disciplines, cultures, and borders. On that note, I'd like to close with a line from one of my favorite Marvel movies, and some of you might recognize it. T'Challa, at the end of the Black Panther, says this: "In times of crisis, the wise build bridges, while the foolish build barriers. We must find a way to look after one another as if we were one single tribe. Thank you and enjoy the symposium.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Chancellor May,
Thank you.
for commencing our event and for your inspiring and encouraging words.